Welcome YouTube, Bobby G here. Today's topic is fish room explosion. Will you take the plunge? Let's talk. So here, a little bit off the focus of what today's video is, but I'm wondering, when does somebody get to call a room a fish room? I've kind of grappled with that myself. Do we call a fish room one tank? Does it need to have more than one tank? Do we need two tanks in our house to call it a fish room? Or maybe we've got some small tanks in our bedroom. Maybe that's a fish room. Do we need one tank, 3 tanks, or do we need 100 tanks? Follow me downstairs for a minute. I think a fish room is a fish room if you keep fish in it. So this is what I can officially call my fish room. If you've seen some of my other videos, you'll be able to see the development of this room. Okay? But we can see here, I'm pretty maxed out on wall space and tanks. I find that I've accomplished a lot of my goals in this hobby, but I have a problem. We have this tank here. I think you can see it, not sure. Sorry. We have this tank here, and if you watch one of my previous videos, it's a 65 gallon that sprung a massive leak. So I'll put a tag so you'll be able to click on it if you want to watch that video. But that brought to mind to me that I don't really have enough room in here, and it's also a carpeted room. So coming back out here, I'll turn this light on so it'll help. Coming back out here, we can look at this room, and I've talked about it before in my fish room build video. Sorry, the lighting's maybe not as good down here. I've talked about it before. Currently, this was an emergency tank that I set up very quickly when the 65 gallon there started leaking. But by the graces of my wife, she's given me permission not to add on to this room, but to move it and expand it. So what's going to happen here is this whole room is going to become a fish room. All the furniture, the carpet, everything is moving out. Sounds crazy? I'd say it is. But let's see how it turns out. There's many things that I have to concern myself with, and I think if you've got one tank or 100 tanks, I think one of the most important things is efficiency. And when I say efficiency, I mean maintenance efficiency. Because if your maintenance isn't easy, or as easy as possible, you're less likely to do it. That's super important to me, is efficiency. And so when I build this room, I will have efficiency in mind first. And so meaning in that, I really don't have access. There's no floor drain in this room. Of course there isn't. But there is. Sorry for that. there is a floor drain in the furnace room back there. That would mean I would have to bust the concrete up through here just to put a floor drain in. I don't see myself doing that, but at least I'm going to give myself the advantage of taking this carpet out and painting the floor. I won't have to be concerned about spilling little bits of water on the carpet and drying them up right away. The other thing is, how do I plumb in my central air system? You know, do I start it here, run it across above the door and all the way around the room? It's good to have one loop. Or do I start it over here? Although if I do it here, it's visible right when you come down the stairs as you're coming down. So I don't like that idea very well. And it doesn't really work very well if placed in the middle of a line, because you need a T, and then you would need to regulate the air pressure going to each side, which I don't think turns out very well. So I think what you'll find is I'm going to start it over here, and like I said, I will run it around the room this way. So that will be one of the very first projects to take on, and the next one will be to come up with a drain system that I find workable. And you know, the next thing that ties in with those two first thoughts is, how do I place the aquariums? I haven't even mapped this out. I know the room's 25 foot by 15. Quick math, I think that's around 400 square feet. There's actually room for aquariums down the center. I don't think I want to do that yet, for sure. But where am I going to set my aquariums? Do I want 2 rows? Do I want an upper row and a lower row? I'm not crazy about having to bend down on the floor to do maintenance. But I think I will design it in a fashion that I can put tanks on the lower level if I would like. So I know you can help me make some of my decisions. And maybe in you watching me, you'll be able to make some of your decisions. You know, I'm a firm believer that no matter the experience level of anybody in anything, so let's get back to the fish, you know, there's really experienced hobbyists that I believe can learn from a complete newbie. There's always something to learn from other people. So thank you for joining me today. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe so that you won't miss the build of this fish room, or the moving of this fish room, and you'll get notified of my latest videos if you hit the little bell. And my last encouragement is, take the plunge.